Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am going to attempt to do the first startup on the LS. A few things I'm going to go over. I've got my oil. I'm going to install an oil pressure sensor. An AEM oil pressure gauge, just so I can make sure my oil pressure is right. I'm going to do my Sicky oil filter relocation kit real quick. And other than that, everything is buttoned up, and I don't see why I can't at least get it to crank over. I know it's not going to start today because I don't have any good gas in it, but that's besides the point. But let's see if I can get this thing started. Well, cranked. So let's get to it. So I just installed the Sicky oil filter relocation kit. It's pretty straightforward. If you can see here, you've got this nice billet bracket that holds down the filter mount itself, and then you got your outline and your inline that'll go down to the bottom of the pan. In the back they have AN fittings on it, so that was an easy fix and pretty convenient placement too. So the next step that I'm going to do, I'm going to actually feed the gauge sensor wire through the firewall through a nice little grommet that I have to keep it away from everything. Going to feed that through, show you what it looks like, plug it in, and then I'm going to go on the inside and start to wire it up. So you might not be able to see it, but I've got a nice little 90-degree grommet down here, right there, that I fed the sensor wire through, and I actually have a little adapter piece back here that I've got my OEM oil pressure switch, and I've got the new AEM oil pressure switch as well. So let me go inside, wire that up real quick, and see if I can get that to work. Alrighty, so oil pressure sensor works. Now lastly, I get to put in my new tuned ECU real quick, and then it'll be the moment of truth, see if I can get this thing started. So we've got the ECU plugged in temporarily. I do have a bracket under it that I'm going to mount it somewhere, maybe in the glove box. I'm not too sure about that just yet, but that's on. We've got power. I'm gonna turn ECU power on, and nothing. Okay, so I have to figure out why I'm not getting anything from the starter. So I wasn't able to get the car cranked over today. Well, kind of, sort of. I did figure out what it is. It's a ground. I completely overlooked an engine ground. So I had my wire harness was grounded to the head, but the engine wasn't grounded to anything. So the power coming into the starter wasn't grounded to the chassis in any way. So I'm going to make a ground today. I'll probably fix the crank problem, but can't really see me anymore. But in the meantime, I did get a few cool parts in. I got my intake manifold from Sicky. Sorry, not manifold, just cold air intake. It's a LS3 style because I'm going to convert to the card instead of the actual MAF itself. So I got that, and I actually got a package in from one of my favorite drifters, Micah Diaz. I ordered one of his hold fast steering wheels, and I'll throw those in real quick and finish off the video with me doing something productive. So first off with the intake, extremely easy install. Literally gonna slap on the coupler, your two worm clamps. You literally slide it over your intake manifold, your throttle body, in whatever direction you're gonna be running your MAF. And then, just like that, your intake's installed. Like I said, super easy. You've got your two worm clips, you got your intake pipe itself, and the actual worm clamp for the intake, the filter. And the only thing I don't have in right now is my card style MAF and intake air temp. That'll go there. The intake comes with the hardware for it, and that's about it. Once I get that ground on, grounding the engine to the chassis, I personally believe I can get the car to crank over nice. May or may not be able to get it started. I know I'm going to have to do some smaller things like make sure I'm getting spark. I wired my fuel pump up so I know I'm going to get fuel, but I'm waiting on a gauge so I can know what my fuel pressure is. So that's over there. And other than that, it's just about ready to go. So I'm nearing the end of the swap. Just a few things that I have to button up before I believe that I can get it started. I just installed the intake. I'm waiting on a MAF. The MAF that I'm going to go with is going to have the intake air temperature sensor included in it. So I may have to tune for that. I'm not 100% sure yet. But other than that, I'm right there. I did just do the ground. The car does crank over. It cranks over a little slow. I think it might be because my battery's a bit dead. But other than that, it's there. It came a long way. And the fact that it cranks says a lot, for me at least, being that I did it all on my own, with the exception of my friends helping me out here and there. But yeah, I hope you liked today's video. It's definitely a milestone in the build itself. And hopefully you liked the content. Stay watching. And yeah, don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe if you haven't already. And I appreciate you guys. Thank you.